Live from the Jersey Shore to the world. Get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Take the show wherever you go. Download the free Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. 7:08, Friday, July 22nd, 72 degrees. Got up to 95 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the Radio Pop app and WOBMM.com. 732-505-1160. Join the conversation. We are out. Oh, my God. We are totally butchered that. We are now joined in studio. That was sloppy. We are now joined in studio by Tim Hearne. He is the executive director of the United Way of Monmouth and Ocean County. Good morning, Tim. How are you?
Good morning, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming in. I know you said that you were super excited to be able to get up at 5 this morning and join us.
Always look forward to that.
Yeah, that's great. So, Tim, United Way is one of those organizations that I find it hard to believe that folks don't know what they're all about. Although I would say that I think some people think it's just about NFL stars giving away big, humongous checks to different charities. So why don't you give us kind of the broad stroke overview of what the United Way is all about?
So actually, the United Way is actually the largest philanthropic organization in the world. It raises $4 billion in the U.S., $1 billion internationally, but it all starts at the local level. So we're the United Way of Monmouth Ocean Counties. So we focus on initiatives and improving lives of people in Monmouth Ocean Counties. So it all starts locally, but we have the brand and the names that you mentioned help us support our work.
Right. And so the majority of the money, a large majority of the money, stays locally when it's raised locally, right?
Absolutely. 100% of it does.
Okay. Now this is a little new, right? The United Way of Monmouth and Ocean, right? Because there used to be a United Way of Monmouth and a United Way of Ocean. What happened there?
So it's only been 3 weeks that we have merged the two county United Ways. And we did that for a bunch of reasons. But most importantly is the boards decided how can we have bigger impact on the two counties we serve, and can we bring our work to scale in a more efficient way to help the people in those counties. It's ultimately about the work.
Right.
So the boards met and decided that the best way to do that, and yes, there'll be some operational efficiencies, but it's really about bringing our work to scale to basically improve the lives of people in both these counties.
So give me an example of something. Excuse me, I apologize for that. Give me an example of what that means. Like show me some organizations that could better work together.
So we'll just talk about our work in financial stability. A third of the residents in Monmouth and Ocean County are struggling to make ends meet. So we've worked with, and this is what United Ways does, is we bring organizations together to try to work on a common goal and work together. Because not one agency alone.
Right.
One agency didn't cause the problem. One agency is not going to solve the problem, right? And we all have different levels of expertise. So what the United Way does, we're not the service provider, but we bring people together in order to make a positive impact in the community. So over at the FSC, the Financial Success Center, trying to get the third of the citizens who are, struggling to make ends meet, bring them together with a range of services that the evidence shows putting them together in a range of services will make the opportunity for them to achieve their financial goals 3 or 4 times more likely.
Right.
So we have the food bank we brought together, NaviCore we brought together, the Workforce Investment Board, and child care resources, all things that people need to get more financially stable. So by working with all those partners, we can make an impact.
Right. And I guess I look at it also like, you have organizations that are Ocean County-centric organizations, then and then organizations that are Monmouth County-centric organizations, and allowing them to share best practices, to share resources, to kind of work together, maybe have some more common events where the United Way, because, I think the amount of money that the United Way raises is really important, right? So the numbers you mentioned are staggering, the number of dollars that are raised. But equally, if not more important, is the ability to kind of bridge organizations and be the kind of the matchmaker and that overarching organization that says, let's see how we can together tackle a problem and be the leaders.
It's all about working together, being collaborative, becoming that impartial source to put groups together,
Right.
and get them to. It takes a lot of work. Takes a lot of effort. People have their own ways of doing things and their own initiatives, but bringing them together to achieve a common goal.
Right. And a perfect example of that would have been Sandy.
Absolutely.
Right? So in Sandy, United Way took a huge leadership role, right, and spun off long-term recovery groups. Yeah. But how much smoother could it have been if Monmouth and Ocean were working? The whole Jersey Shore was working together.
Yeah.
And from a communication standpoint, from a resource standpoint. Go ahead. Why don't you talk about that?
While we did have separate long-term recovery groups, the United Ways did have together. We worked and had a Rebuild New Jersey program where we had got an AmeriCorps grant and had over 60 AmeriCorps members over 2 years, leading volunteers. We had over 7,000 volunteers coming in and helping people rebuild homes over the last 3 years. So we worked together to do that because the common goal was help people rebuild.
Right.
No reason why we should have separate programs.
Sure.
We worked together. We shared resources, and the results speak for themselves.
Absolutely. So Tim, how did you get? How long have you been with the United Way? How did you get involved in this?
So, as I said, I've been the CEO of the United Way of Monmouth Ocean County for 3 weeks. But prior to that, I've been with the United Way of Monmouth County for 8 years. Prior to that, I was in private industry and had the opportunity to work as a volunteer on a couple boards. And I always liked that work and that role, and was always looking for the day when I could jump over and actually use some of my expertise and passions in the nonprofit world. Closing the books just didn't,
No. So what did you do privately?
So I was a officer in various financial administrative positions, New Jersey Natural Gas, CPA, MBA by background. But, closing the books and doing financial reports, after a while.
Wasn't as gratifying and rewarding, huh?
Yeah. So it was time for a change, and I had the opportunity to come over and do the United Way of Monmouth County. And, the first couple of years, we changed the model, that United Way. Then Sandy hit.
Right.
And we spent 3 or 4 years on Sandy, and now we're merging the two organizations and coming together to try to figure out what the best way for us combined to have impact in our communities.
That's great. So when we come back, I want to kind of dive a little deeper into the programs that the United Way is all about. I'm very interested to learn more. I think I'm as the new chairman of the United Way of Monmouth and Ocean County, I think any knowledge you could drop on me would be very important for me as I go forward.
We'll try.
Tim Hearne, CEO, United Way of Monmouth and Ocean County, back after this.
Get more Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin at our website, WOBMAM.com. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310.
Hey, welcome back. We are back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, Tim Hearne, CEO, United Way of Monmouth and Ocean County. So, programs. This is really where the work is done. So, to talk to you about some of the programs the United Way is involved in currently.
So, one of the things we work on education, income, and health. But one of the things we believe is that the way you're going to have impact is through the use of volunteers. So, we run the Volunteer Center in Monmouth Ocean counties. It's an online database. It has right now over 263 volunteer opportunities for people in Monmouth Ocean County, ranging from volunteering at special events, doing social media, as your previous guest talked about, being a volunteer driver, tutor, working for kids, volunteer at a food pantry, office help, training, become a CASA volunteer, working boats, Ocean County, you have Coast Guard volunteers, boating inspectors. So there's a full range of opportunities. You just go on our website, uwmoc.org, hit volunteers, and you'll see plenty of opportunities. If you don't see any opportunity you like, then you can see the agencies and kind of connect with the agencies. So we're kind of connecting the volunteers in one spot with the agencies and programs that you're personally interested in, and you can make an impact that way.
Right.
So we've been doing that for several years, and I'm real proud of that, the amount of matches that we've made over the years, and bringing volunteers to the table.
Cool. Talk to me about the difference in strategically in kind of making investments in nonprofits? And by that I mean, what is the difference between like in philosophies of spreading out small amounts of money over a large number of organizations versus making more meaningful contributions or investments into a smaller number? What is that? What's the difference there?
I think it all goes back to what's your philanthropic interest. What moves you as a donor, and do you want to try to make everybody happy with a little bit, or do you want to have real impact by making a donation to a specific cause and making a significant impact?
Right.
And target your donation to things where the nonprofit can talk about outcomes, actual achievements. We talk about outputs. How many visits.
Right.
You don't want to talk about visits. You want to talk about reading levels. You want to talk about income improvements. You want to talk about results that really make a difference in a person's life. And sometimes that's hard to measure when you're spreading your dollars out as opposed to targeting your dollars to specific initiatives.
Right, which is interesting because I know the United Way of Monmouth County is very focused on some particular issues. So what are the particular issues?
We talked earlier about the Financial Success Center.
Right.
And we have great stories and results from there. We've had it's only been open for a year. We've had over 600 people come through the door. We've brought back over $600,000 to the community through benefits that we've been able to get for our clients there, our participants there. But that's a great example. We had a gentleman come in about a month ago, came in through the food bank door looking for benefits, talked to one of our counselors about eliminating his debt and getting budgeting help. Through that, we realized that he was actively in a job search but wasn't being successful. We brought him over to our workplace counselor. That counselor helped him with his resume and gave him job interview skills. Got a job. Coming back and is working on eliminating his debt. That wasn't going to happen if you just went to one of those organizations because they couldn't make that referral to the other organization easily, seamlessly, coming to the same place. When you're walking in, they know who you are because they can go to the same record and say, "Oh, Joe, how you doing? This is what we were doing." So that's an example.
And it certainly wasn't going to happen if you just walked into the food bank so he can get a basket full of food. So that's a completely different way of dealing with
a different philosophy, and that the evidence proves that when you put all that stuff in a center-based place, the likelihood of people achieving their goals is much greater. And that's again what something United Way brings. So
speaking of like kind of out of the box and bringing it all into one place, you have a presence in the Freehold Mall?
Yes, we actually have our partnership is with a space partnership with the Meridian Health System and the ARC of Monmouth. So that collaborative gets retail space in the Freehold Raceway Mall, lower level, over in the Macy's wing. We're open most of the day and Saturdays there, and then our FRC is based in there with those partners.
Very cool. Tim Hearne, CEO, United Way of Monmouth and Ocean County. When we come back, we're going to give you your magic wand so you can make an impact and change the world, which you're doing anyway every day, so it's kind of anticlimactic. Right. But I also want to talk about Stuff the Bus and some of the other things that some of the other cool programs that the United Way is working on. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. No hometown view. Kevin Williams is on a beach somewhere staring at his toes. Back after this.
Live from the Bob Levy Broadcast Center, overlooking the Toms River, it's time to get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Be a part of the show, 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, 7:32 Friday, July 22nd, 72 degrees, get up to 95 today. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com, 732-505-1160 to join the conversation. We are joined in studio by Tim Hearne. He's the CEO of the United Way of Monmouth and Ocean County.
Squeezing it there.
Man, that's quick.
Yeah. So Tim, talk to me. It's hard to believe, and it's really kind of depressing. So I really don't want to talk about it too long. But we're getting towards the end of July now, so it's time to start talking about back to school.
Right.
Oh, wah wah.
Yeah.
So what is the United Way doing? What do we got education wise?
So one of the key determinants of a child's success is the ability to read by the 4th grade. Because after the 4th grade, you're reading to learn, where up to the 4th grade, you're learning to read. Oh. And it is clearly the success in high school graduation rates, college, can be absolutely measured by a child's ability to read by 4th grade. And one of the reasons kids are not reading by that level is what's called the summer slide. Is that the learning loss because of lack of activities, lots of books, doing things in the summer, they lose their what they've learned during the school year. Kids learn enough during the school years, and that's not the issue, is what they lost during the summer. So we tackle the summer slide. We tackle that a couple different ways. We work with school districts to identify kids at risk for the summer slide. We put them in camps that we worked with and who have adopted some academics, not all about academics. It's about literacy. It's about putting what they read and then putting their hands on that stuff so they can put what they read in context. If they're reading about a garden, they're gardening. If they're reading about the beach, they're going to the beach. And we worked out, again, working with partners, not us doing it, working with partners, school systems, identify the kids, partners to do the work, the school systems measuring pre and post results. So 84% of the kids who go to that programs are reading at or above the reading level. Here in Ocean County, working with the partners over at People's Pantry and the Beach Center, we're doing our summer feeding program. Kids who go through the food pantry come in, have a literacy program, reading books. Then we partner over with the Soul Kitchen. They get fed, get nutrition classes. So again, it's about identifying the need. It's about identifying the kids at risk. It's working with partners to target and get those results that we want.
Cool.
And then the summer, as you said, Jeremy, we are getting ready for the school year. And one of the programs that we've been running for many years in both Monmouth and Ocean County is our Stuff the Bus campaign. Kids... There's nothing worse than a kid go back to school and does not have the supplies that he needs when he walks in the door, as opposed to his counterpart from a higher income family and has it. It just puts him at a disadvantage. So we want the kids to come back to school with an equal footing of all their classmates. So we work with schools and agencies in both Monmouth and Ocean counties to identify kids who may not have those tools that they need to succeed in school, and we work with our partners in the corporations and the community to gather that stuff through our Stuff the Bus campaign. Very cool. We're collecting stuff like backpacks and pens and pencils and basic stuff that maybe you and I know our kids have too many of, but there are kids in this community who don't have those resources.
Right.
And you can help us make that difference to those kids by participating in our Stuff the Bus campaigns.
Great campaign, really, really important, and a lot of different venues that you can go and participate. I was smiling for a second because you have been far and away the most the biggest microphone handler of anyone we have ever had in the studio.
I broke the record.
And every time you grab the microphone, they're very sensitive. Every time it's like.
Should have wore them. I should have worn the headphone.
We have different levels of guests. We have some guests who bang the desk, right? Because they have heavy hands and they're used to talking like this, right? And then we have the microphone handlers, right?
I'm a microphone handler.
You're a microphone handler, but that's because you're passionate and you're fired up and you are you speak with such conviction about the great things that the United Way of Monmouth and Ocean County are doing.
Thank you for your support.
And I'm glad that you've now duct taped your hands together so you can no longer touch
sitting on my hands now.
But we do need one hand because you need to hold the magic wand, right? Because it's that time where you take the magic wand, the magic pixie dust, the fairy dust, the ability just to wiggle your nose and make an impact.
Right.
And we say to you, Tim Hearne, CEO of the United Way of Monmouth and Ocean County, what are you going to do with that magic wand? What are you going to do to change the world more so than what you've already started to do to help change the world?
In our work, we've really just touched the surface, and I'd love to just be able to see that all the kids in Monmouth, Ocean County can read at the 4th grade level.
Right.
That would make such a difference long term in everything that we do in all our work if that happened. And then the income level is just making families financially stable.
Yeah.
And that's we've just touched that work, but working with our partners, I think we can make that happen.
Are you a big believer in pre-K, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, we do support pre-K.
Right.
The evidence shows that is a big help in a kid's ability. It starts there to get to that measuring stick, the reading by the 4th grade level.
Right. Also helps to identify any kind of learning issues at an earlier age, and it actually becomes a net positive from a savings for the school districts if they can address these issues earlier on. So
yes, a whole societal savings.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Tim, where can folks learn more about the United Way of Monmouth and Ocean County, especially if they want to? I'm just saying, especially if they want to give. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So you go to UnitedUWMOC.org, Facebook, or on our website, and you can learn more. You can go see events and see about the dates. We have 8 dates for our Stuff the Bus campaigns at various Walmarts, Boscov's, and Wegmans in Monmouth, Ocean County, coming up the next couple Saturdays and Sundays. So you have an opportunity there. You can go to our offices in Toms River or in Wall and donate there. So there's plenty of opportunities, and go visit our website.
Right. And, okay, that's great. Tim, I would just say I am personally super excited. The United Way has held a place in my family's heart for a number of years. My dad was a longtime member of the United Way board. Yeah. He was very active. He would tell you that the allocations process and determining who to support was one of the most impactful things that he's ever done in the world of nonprofits. And so when I got to town, one of the first organizations that we looked up was the United Way because I wanted to be part of it. Proud to have been a board member of the United Way of Ocean County, and now super proud to be the chair of the United Way of Monmouth and Ocean County, and to work with such a fantastic team bridging both counties, and a fantastic board, great group of partner agencies, and really doing great work for the Jersey Shore.
Well, thank you for your leadership and your support.
And thank you for all that you do, Tim, because you are truly a leader in the nonprofit community here, not only at the Jersey Shore, but throughout New Jersey.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for waking up early this morning.
Yeah, it's Friday.
That's
Friday,
right.
New Jersey Shore.
It's Friday. You have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the heat. And we'll be back with more Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin right after this.